Let's make this generator run today. Out with the old dry rotted fuel line, fresh rubber hose, and these nice anodized AN fittings. Fuel filter, second fuel filter, oil filter, air filters. We got the whole 9 yards. And the biggest thing is we got the old filter off of here. The old filter had this petcock on there so that you could drain the filter and it would come from here, routed through a line, and come out here on the fuel drain. We're just gonna rock none of that. As always, your O-ring goes on first, and we'll spin our filter on. Of course, our knee mat. And the reason we even had this off is because that filter is so tight that we had to take the housing off and put it into a vise. Make sure our mating surfaces are extra clean. Get this lined up and thread these fittings on. These fittings don't need any tape. They just simply seal by pressure squeezing upon each other. Same deal over here, all cleaned up. Now we can get custom. Before we put this in, let's get our draw straw reattached. Took this out because we wanted to verify there was no issues with something stuck in the end, and I blew a bunch of brake cleaner through it. We're good. Feed it back down into the tank. Take our, oh no, I just lost the lock nut. Anyways, take our screws and start finding the magical hole if I can. Fuel suction line made. I forgot that I never gave this thread tape because the bottom half of this fitting is tapered, so it relies on thread to seal it. This relies on that sealing surface. Back to the truck toolbox. We did tape and sealant because the littlest leak inside of here and the smallest introduction of air will actually cause this thing not to want to start, give you hard starts. So we don't want to have that problem. Now we can slip our new fitting on. You might be looking at this thing going, why is that thing so long? It didn't need to be like that. In case we have to splice a lift pump into here, because what I found out from you guys, let me say the comment section has been so incredibly helpful, so thank you for those guys recommending things. What I thought was a lift pump click in here is actually an auxiliary pump that feeds off of this fitting right here. External fuel supply is, say I got a 1,000-gallon tank sitting right here. I just run a little 3/8 line up to this fitting here, change my control switch to let the generator know that, and now you are not limited to the fuel tank underneath the machine. Just gotta pump this primer 6,545 million times. This is where the electrical lift pump would have been nice because I would have just turned it on and would have done this job. We'll just say that as a last resort if we can't get this thing to bleed out. That was pretty quick. Very nice. Close this guy up. Ah, man, I forgot about that fuel filter right there. It's gonna be my best attempt at trying not to make a huge mess here. We'll let this drain and hopefully we do not fill up this bowl. Got our filter and diesel. Center section. Old filter. Actually see a good bit of water sitting down on the bottom of that. But it did its job. Clean up our bowl, drop our first O-ring in there. Filter goes next. Now we can stick it all back in there like so. Hold on a second. I think I forgot this guy right here. I think it went spring, washer, rubber washer. Then our filter goes on. And wash. And gasket. If you service these things all the time, I bet that's the filter you least look forward to changing. Lastly, our little bolt here with the crush washer as the drain. Air pockets are the enemy to this thing. We know we have all the air out to this point and should have fuel the whole way up to here, and we just drained that. Looking at this fuel filter housing, we have fuel coming in. That's what we just touched. We have return fuel coming off the top of the injectors that goes to this port, and that feeds back to tank. Lastly, we have this guy, which would be the outlet of this filter housing that goes to the injection. So we'll crack our outlet here, open that, spin it loose a little bit. Now we go back to pumping our life away until we see fuel fill up that and then inevitably come out of that fitting. You want to work out for your thumbs, man. This is it. Oh, there we have it. Got some air bubbles going. Get those air bubbles out. A nice flow of fuel. That's what we want. Tighten her back up and snug. A few more pumps to help our pump out, build some pressure. Now it's getting nice and firm, which is what we want. Take this off no crank. Normal operation. Fingers crossed on this one. Again, last time I was in here, I was playing with some stuff back behind here. So with these, over voltage didn't show up. It either didn't run long enough or we fixed it. I don't know. We're about to find out though. People mentioned turn the frequency and the voltage all the way down. We'll see if that helps. Keep it out of parallel. Go run and prime. Contact. I don't know how stubborn these are, but sometimes we have to crack these injector lines. Let's try it a little bit more just to see if it's going to work for us. This is still nice and firm. We were seeing some smoke come out here, so that was kind of promising to me. Contact. Now I think we're gonna crack some lines here. Okay, we got 2 of the 3 crack free. What we're looking for is some fuel to drip around the edge of here on all 3 of these. A little bit on that guy, a little there, and nothing there. I'm not getting nearly the amount of fuel that I should be getting out of here, even after opening these bleeders. So I'm going to check the shutoff solenoid, put a tester on it, make sure that it's clicking. Plugged into the pigtail. I don't know if it's when I turn this on or when I crank it. That should jump up to 20-something volts. Turn it on. This thing's never going to start if the solenoid doesn't open up. All right, so this is a new problem. Why are we not getting power to the shutoff solenoid? Something is telling this machine not to run. Let's see if we can find our shutoff solenoid somewhere on here. Something that has a lot of suspicion I have on is this guy right here. This is kind of like the crank speed sensor. Reads off the flywheel. The kind gentleman on here told me that this can actually cause the over voltage issue when it's reading wrong. Now I'm reading up and saying that it can also cause a no start issue because it won't give this power. This is finally adjusted in there. Hopefully I don't regret this, but let's break this jam nut loose and see what we got. I'm at least trying to mark everything. That way we can put it back to where it was if we need to. Hopefully the next video is entitled, how do I set my crank position timing sensor back? Mark this guy, that way we know which 2 go together. Would you look at that? A bunch of metal rusty shavings on it. I might be on something here. Next I want to ohm out the sensor. I'm pretty sure I read online it was between 700 and 800, I think. And we are at 770, so I believe we're within spec. Rust is all cleaned off. Back in there she goes. Manual says for setting this, you bottom the sensor out, bottomed out. I put a mark right there. We want to back off 1 full revolution right to there. Run my jam nut tight. I don't have enough hands to do this part, but I'm going to hold my multimeter to the sensor unplugged from the machine. Got my multimeter set, and I'll hit that dead crank switch, and we're looking for 2 to 3 volts. Okay, it made it up to 1.2 volts. So we're too low, and I don't know which way we need, so we're going to try and go to the right. We're going to go closer is my guess, and it says no more than 1/8 of a turn at a time. Contact. Okay, we need more. Let's try it. Perfect. Now, we don't know if that was the problem or a problem, either one of our problems, but at least it's right now. Back into our shutoff solenoid, meter changed. Contact. Well, that's still not good. Well, I hate to do it, but batteries are getting dead. It's getting dark out. Time to do some more research and hopefully some more good suggestions as to why that shutoff solenoid is not getting power.